The photograph with the DC3 was really a hard shot to actually get. I had been talking to 3 different companies for about a year. The photograph you're looking at is a real business called Catalina Flying Boats. They fly cargo to and from the island of Catalina from Long Beach, California every day. In the summertime, sometimes 4 or 5 times a day. So it is a legitimate business. The fuel truck you can see is one of the vendors they use for fueling the aircraft, and all the people in the photograph are actually employees of these businesses. In addition to these 2 businesses, I had to get the company right next door to turn off their lights for the duration of that shot we were actually doing. The business next door has another, hangars and stuff, and their lights just pour down onto this environment. When I was originally asking about turning off the lights, some of the people had said, well, can't you just use flash or strobe? And we got into a long discussion about painting with light, and one thing led to another. Ultimately, it worked out. I did also ask Boeing, who's across the tarmac, who builds the C-17, giant cargo plane, if they could shut down their giant floodlights for the duration of my night photograph. But I guess because of issues of national security and 24/7 work schedules, that just wasn't going to happen. So, okay, that was that. After basically about a year of talking and coaxing and, cajoling this company who owns the airplane, we finally agreed on a date and a time, and we set it up, and we got to do the shot. As is always the case, when I tried to do the actual photograph of the airplane I had picked out ahead of time, the plane I wanted, they had 2. The plane I wanted busted some of their wheel brake assemblies and was stuck in place on the tarmac, but facing the wrong direction for what I wanted for my photograph, so we used a different airplane. As is always the case with these shots, they're so complex and there's so much involved with people volunteering their time in addition to all the other parameters. It's often a sort of a matter of you get what you get and make the best of it. And so that's what we did here. The shot you're looking at was created, it was about a 9 or 10 hour shoot. There was about 700 shots involved in actually creating this image. 1 or 2 shots as the mechanic and the little components on the ground, boxes. What I'm trying to do when I make this particular shot is not so much have a photograph of a DC-3 at night. What I'm really trying to do is almost capture the character and integrity of the people who do this for a living. It's not so much a shot of an airplane and a fuel truck and some cargo. It's really, I think, a matter of the integrity of the people who work on these airplanes every day. The mechanic literally has people's lives in his hands. The fuel guy on the wing, even he has to be extremely careful. It's an old airplane, it's been around, but he has to be careful of fueling, not topping off too far, having fuel splash everywhere, putting on the cap right. It could bring down an airplane with even something as simple as that is not done correctly every time without fail. So I tried to maybe include some of that into the shot.